guys, welcome back to the Sarah K Knits podcast. Today is episode 13. I'm sorry that it's been a little bit longer than I had hoped before posting this video. My husband and I have had COVID. We're still not feeling great, but we're okay and getting better. So I figured I would film today. I forgot to pull a giveaway winner for the affordable sock yarn, so I will put it down here at the bottom, the name of the winner. And if you could email me at sarahknits@gmail.com with your shipping info, I will get that sent out to you. I don't have a sock tip for you guys today. I want to talk about my 2021 wrap up and kind of my goals for 2022. I was going to do this as a separate video, but I decided to just put it together. Sorry, I've got my notes down here. So in 2021, I finished 27 projects that I documented on my Ravelry. So that's 22 pairs of socks, 4 shawls, and 2 hats. I also finished several dishcloths and dish towels, but I didn't put those on my Ravelry, so I don't know how many I finished. I left 2021 with 86 skeins of yarn total. That is full skeins. So like this, well, that's a set, but I didn't count the minis. I just counted the full skeins, and I did not count partial skeins that are left over from other projects. So 86 full skeins plus minis and partial skeins. In 2022, my goal is to use up more yarn than I bring in for full skeins. So I'll consider it used up when I've used it for one project. So like a pair of socks. If I use a skein of yarn for a pair of socks and I have some left over, I'll still consider that one skein used up. So far, I've used up 2 skeins, and I have not brought any in this year. I have some yarn for acquisitions to show you that I got for Christmas, but those are included in the 86 skein total. So that's my brief 2021 wrap up. My goals for 2022, other than the how much yarn I'm buying and bringing in, I made a Facebook group. It's not specifically for this podcast. It's called Sock Knitting Addicts over on Facebook if you want to check it out. I'll remember to put the link down below. But my goal is to grow that group, my Instagram here, and just help build a bigger community of sock knitters and knitters in general, and make more fiber friends, and just continue to enjoy knitting. Another goal this year is I want to start designing knitting patterns. I'm going to start with socks because that's what I love. I've got a notebook full of design ideas. I am kind of nervous. It seems like there's a lot more that goes into it than I would have thought before I started digging. But be on the lookout for some sock designs coming later this year. I haven't started yet, but like I said, I do have some ideas. And then the last kind of goal I have for myself this year is I want to knit a lot of dishcloths. So if you've been watching for a while, you know that I knit tons of gifts last Christmas. And it was fun and I enjoyed it, but it was a lot. So this year everybody's getting dishcloths, but that means I need to knit them. So my goal is to do at least 3 a month for a total of at least 36. If I do less some month, more the next, that's fine. But I've got a bag here with my needles and yarn and whatnot, and that's what's going to live in my car. It's going to come with me when I volunteer at blood drives, appointments, that sort of thing. At blood drives, I just run the check-in table and I check people in when they come in for their appointments. I've got tons of knitting time. I'm a volunteer, so nobody cares if I knit. So that is, I'm hoping, when I'll get the most dishcloths done. Okay, one finished object today, and that is my Skylar white socks that were a test knit for breaking yarn. It's got a pearl ridge down either side, and then lots of knit pearl texture on the front. This pattern is out now on her website, and I'll link her down below if you want to go check it out. It was really fun to knit up. The back is just plain stockinette. I have partridge heel, which is not what I usually do. I knit these on a size 1 ChiaoGoo needle, magic loop, and I cast on 64 stitches, so I did the size medium from her pattern. Yarn is the May colorway from Yarnable from 2021. So there's that, and then before I get too much further, I wanted to show you one of my Christmas gifts from my aunt, which is these wooden sock blockers with sheep on them. And they're very cute. And I had them on my Amazon wish list. So I was very excited. And I'll show you the rest of my yarny Christmas gifts in a bit here. Only going to talk about 2 whips today. I still have my cardigan and my shawl and my scrappy blanket, but none of those 3 things have gotten a lot of work. They've gotten a few rows here and there, but finishing the test knit and then these other 2 whips were what took the most of my time these past few weeks. So I have started another pair of vanilla socks, shocker. I cast on 60 stitches on a US 1 ChiaoGoo, because I find that when I'm not doing a pattern sock or testing a pattern for somebody else, 60 stitches fits me just a little bit better. And I don't know where this yarn came from. It was something I'd already had caked up in my collection, and I'd lost the band a long time ago. But it's gray with like some pooling of rainbow, and this is why I lost the band, because clearly I had some sort of accident with my skein winder. But this is all I've got done for that. Just a little bit, the cuff and some of the leg. You know, I love me a vanilla sock. And then the other whip that has gotten a ton of time is I've started a baby blanket. My cousin and his wife are expecting their first baby. So I have started a blanket for them. Found the pattern on Ravelry. If I remember the name, I'll put it down below. But it's basically just garter stitch with squares of stockinette. So here it is so far. Baby is a girl. So I am about a quarter of the way done. I have 3 more skeins of yarn. So hopefully that will be big enough. The yarn I'm using is Lion Brand Feels Like Butter in the color Lilac. It's 100% polyester and it's kind of fuzzy. I wanted something that would be easy care for new mom and dad. These I have got on my ChiaoGoo interchangeables with a size 8 tip. I pretty much exclusively use ChiaoGoo. They're my favorite. So that is what I've got going on right now. Excuse the crinkling as I shove things back into bags. Hopefully I'll have more done on the shawl and the cardigan that I can show you the next time. And then last but not least, in addition to those sock blockers, I did get a few other yarny things for Christmas. So from my sister-in-law, I got 2 skeins of Baracco Ultra Alpaca. Color is 6297. It is 50% superfine alpaca and 50% Peruvian wool. I believe it's worsted weight, I'm not sure. Like this gorgeous wine color. She also gave me a pattern printout for some mittens that I will probably knit up at some point. So there was that. And then from my in-laws, my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, I got 2 skeins of this, which is Cascade Yarns Color something. It's covered up by the label of where they got it, which is Misty Acres Alpaca Farm. But this is 70% baby alpaca and I think 30% wool. Yes, 70% baby alpaca and 30% merino wool in this beautiful purple. super soft. This will probably be a cowl, I'm thinking, but I'm not sure. And then last but not least, my husband and I do just stockings for each other because we do kind of like a joint gift. So we're getting a projector for our living room this year. He usually goes to Walmart and just fills up a basket with stuff out of the Bath and Body aisle. And I said, why don't you go to the yarn store? And my friends at the yarn store will help you pick some things out. So he got a few things from me from Smitten, which I always link below, my local yarn store. From Coco Knits, this is a accessory roll. And I've already got it full of tapestry needles, cable needles, that sort of thing. So there is that. And it came with like 3 different colors of this. It came with black originally, but it came with like 3 different elastic cords so you could change the colors. And I changed it to pink. And those little wedges on the inside, they're magnetic and they can pop out, which is really cool. The next thing he got me, which I think he was more excited about, is also from Coco Knits. And it is like a slap bracelet with a magnet on it to put, well, that's not going to work, is it? Like stitch markers. The light bulb stitch markers I love to use would attach their tapestry needles. And it's a slap bracelet. And the back side has a little ruler on it. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. But he says, if I don't want to use it, he'll use it for his tools. I said, no, I will definitely use it. Have a feeling I might fiddle with it more than I'll actually use it. And then the last thing are from the Knitting Barber. And these are cords, blue cords, to put your stitches on hold, like if you're knitting a garment or something. And they're hollow, so if your needle is small enough, so if I were using it for like a sock needle or something, I could slip it right over the needle and move the stitches on. But there is 3 of them in here, a 60-inch and 2 30-inch. And that is something that I had been wanting. I'm pointing at my sweater because you guys can totally tell that my sweater's over there. For when I get to where I need to put stitches on hold on my sweater. So it was a good Christmas. It was just after New Year. He and I got sick. We're starting to get better. If you want to check out my Facebook group, Sock Knitting Addicts, I will link it down below. We would love to have you over there. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else to talk about. I'll see you in a couple weeks for episode 14. Thanks. Bye.